Well, let's get started. Got a lot to talk about today on The Well.
Welcome to season 2 of The Well, where we talk about prayer to politics and everything in between. I'm your host, Christiana Davis, filling in for the wonderful Mr. Marvin Drake. I'm here with Pastor Donnie Briggs, Miss Trinity, Dana, and David. How are you guys feeling today?
Oh, we're feeling real.
So
Wonderful.
Prophetess.
To be here. So on today's show, we're going to be talking about something very interesting. We're going to be talking about second chances and relationships.
Yeah.
Now, I know probably everybody, I'm assuming at this table, has had their share with relationships and maybe second chances and whatnot.
She
but
said keyword share. She was
that
like,
just seemed like
that's the
a
end
lot.
of relationship right there. Don't
Honey,
be sharing.
listen.
I don't share.
shares.
But as you all know, JayZ released his album 444 a couple of months ago, and it basically was almost like a response to Beyonce's precursor album, Lemonade. I'm a huge fan of her, and I think that everything that she said, I just love her. But basically in the album, she was talking about the experience that she had with, I guess, infidelity and some emotions that she went through. She talked about a little bit about Black pride and rebuilding relationships and then going through the motions and things. But then you have JayZ come out with this album and kind of respond to everything that she was talking about, and it seemed in a way that they almost reconciled things. So looking at that and looking at their, I guess, art in a way, what do you guys think of second chances in relationships? Do you think they're necessary? Do you think once something is done with, is no turning back on it, close the door and just keep it pushing?
Brother Donnie, it's your first time. Why don't you
Well,
jump
that's
out
a
there?
great question. Firstly, I think it's a great song, one of great vulnerability and also maturity. And so I think in that aspect, second chances, it is important because you can be in a relationship but not be mature enough for the relationship. Both parties can, in one way or another. But I also think it depends on the person or the persons, the level of love and commitment that they have towards each other, but then also the what happened, the degree of the thing that happened, I would say.
Yes, and I definitely think that what goes on in a relationship is almost, especially for unmarried people, it's like a preview as to what will happen if you're married or in something more committed. So you have to really pay attention to what's going on before you go into something a lot more seriously. Trinity, what do you think?
I love, but at the same time, it's not supposed to hurt me. So therefore, I can't, for me, like, I can't give you a second chance. Because to me, like, if this is what you're capable of doing and you showing me who you are, I don't want anybody like that in my life. And a lot of times God will reveal signs to us women that we choose to ignore until you finally have to really go through something deep, where to the point it's like a knife just being stabbed in your heart. And it's like, this is what, and I say that because I've experienced a situation like that before in a relationship where I was involved with a guy and I really thought we were into a relationship, but I found out in the end that this man was living a double life with me. So it's like, how would I give you a second chance to something like that? And yes, that man tried to come back into my life and, want to be involved, but it's like, where's the trust? There's no trust there. You broke it.
And trust is really important. When I think about trust in relationships and honesty, I can't help but think of Genesis and think about Adam and Eve and how they were like really the first like vulnerable, open relationship in the Bible. And it's interesting that when Adam had gone to sleep and God took a rib from Adam to create Eve, you think about the heart where it lies in the body. The rib cage kind of covers the heart. So in a sense, if women are to be the rib of men, we cover their hearts, right? We protect their hearts. We're keepers of their hearts. So why do you think that it is when it comes to relationships that women are, if we are the most forgiving, is you see in relationships, we're always the ones coming back, right? We're like, okay, I'll give him one more chance. But if a woman does something wrong, the man is like, I'm done. It's over. That's not every case, but you see it very popularly. Why do you think we have such a forgiving nature when it comes to relationships and giving second chances?
Could be the charm that they put on that we just don't pay attention to.
What you think, Dana? You usually a little bit more outspoken. You kind of chilling right
quiet
now.
right
Yeah, what's going on? You got a lot of thinking going on up there. What's going on?
No, I'm just listening.
Jump in there, cause I'm not a woman from that perspective, so I want to know too.
Why are we so forgiving? I
Yeah.
think we're more emotional. So
Yes.
women, we run on emotions where you guys run on the physical things. You know what I mean? So for us, I forgot the name of this play. And the guy, he went to different cities, and I think it was called the Girlfriend Boyfriend Play, if I'm not mistaken. And so he had this statistics. He put up some statistics, and it said that women, females, we think like this: it's emotional, it's physical, then love. You know what I'm saying? Guys, it's physical, love. You know, it's you guys are more physical. So I think that's why we're like, oh my God, but I love him. Like, he made me feel this way. He made me feel that way. Like, oh my God, I loved when we did this. We think more of the good times, and we, like you said, those bad times, we put the red flags on them. You know what I mean? Where y'all, it's like, nope, you did this. Nope. Moving on to the next.
But I think, that could be. I mean, it's definitely true. I think men are probably more emotional than they let on, but they don't show it because.
I agree with you because as men, we are raised to be strong,
especially black men.
Yeah.
It's like you can't be no punk.
I'll be crying.
Can't be soft.
Why you crying?
Doing it? What you doing? Are you gonna let the little girl hurt you?
Man,
like, nah, you better man up.
Women, dime a dozen.
Man, there's another one out there.
That's right.
So
Fish
it's
in the
like,
sea.
yeah, and then that's just in that aspect. So
That's
when you taught that from a gent, it's like I remember TD Jakes I was watching one of his clips. He's talking about men and women. Like when you see little boys when they're young, if you see them playing with dolls or playing house, you be like, man, you better get that boy out of there. He ain't playing no house.
Right.
But then the women are playing house, and so they playing house, playing marriage and stuff all they like. We out there like, don't be playing no house.
Right.
That's a little thing that obviously,
And,
I mean, it does.
And I
does,
think, and
does
so
things.
when I was listening to Trent and to Dana speak, it's like as women, you are more prone to make the relationship work, or like you are for commitment.
Yeah.
Yes.
And with dudes,
Yes.
like we're taught like, oh, just run out and play and just do you. Like when I was in high school and even entering into college, I had an aunt who said, Don, like remember, like you're not obligated to anybody. Like if you're not married, you're not obligated. So I entered into high school, into college, undergrad, had a girlfriend. It was a long distance relationship, but in the back of my mind, I still had that thought of I'm not obligated to her, so I can just do whatever.
And
it's
even on top of that, as a man, like it wasn't until maybe 5 years ago that I really understood. It's like even though I'm single, I have to practice how I want to be in a relationship for when I get married. Because as a man, like you're taught like you're the man, go find a woman. So I was like, okay, I can look at everything.
Yeah.
So I'm like looking at everything, and then when you get in a relationship or situation, you have to practice being disciplined with your eye, because you could still be looking, and it's not even an intentional thing, but that's all you've been doing, and you have to train these young brothers how to look, what to look for. Because if you're just looking for, trust me, you can see a lot of,
that's true.
Yeah.
And it's not just guys though. Because I remember having a conversation with my grandmother, rest her soul. She was so funny on my dad's side, not my mama's side.
Okay.
On my daddy's side.
All right.
Clarify.
And I remember my older cousins, I remember hearing them talk about like relationship stuff with my grandma. And I remember this one statement that she told, like she really had it like it was a golden nugget. And now that I'm older, I'm like, grandma, she said, listen, a guy, it's like, think of it as a bus pass. You get on the bus, you pay your fare, and you get your transfer. So when that bus act up, you jump off and go to the next one. So it's that safe, you know what I'm saying? So my grandma was teaching us wrong. You know, it was pretty much like they both of them. And if you tripping, just stay with that one.
Wow,
You know
$60 a month to get you in. Come on, grandma. That's not what she was saying.
Go ahead.
Switch up my grandma.
I'm sorry.
Oh my
Sorry.
God.
Sorry, grandma.
But I also think too, back to what you were saying, how women get, because like we are emotional, but we also have, because we love this person, you have this sense of hope to be like, well, I know he said this, so he is going to change. So and then we hope for them to change, but truth be told, they got to be willing to change. We can't change them.
But sometimes they change. You know, let's say that. Sometimes they do change.
Maturity.
You know, it's just about okay, maybe we weren't together at the right time. You know, so I needed to just get together.
Because from an aspect of a man too, like I've dated women that maybe weren't as mature, and they've been scarred by some dude and knucklehead. And so when I did something, they're like, no, I'm just waiting for you to mess up. And I was like, whoa, where'd that come from? But then, no lie, I was like a good dude, quote unquote.
Right.
That affected me for my next relationship because I didn't go in as nice.
Yeah.
Like I went in doing everything, and she was thinking I was manipulating or trying to get something from her.
That comes because she
So
was
it's like a
scarred.
cycle. They say hurt people hurt people.
That
You
is
know
so
what I mean?
true. I really
You
believe
know?
that.
But now look at this though, right? So when you flipping back to the whole 444 album, and you think about Jay's vulnerability, love is risky. Right, because when you think about God, if we're going back to the garden, like you took us, Christy, right? Why would the Lord create people who He knew would eventually fail and become flawed, right? Why wouldn't He just throw us away and just say, "I'm gonna do it all over"? He wouldn't do that because in His creation, He understands that it's risky, and risk is you may cheat on me. You may leave me, you may hurt me, you may say the wrong things to me, but I love you enough to take that risk. And if we're afraid to take the risk, you'll never be fearless enough to step into the aspect of love.
And
I was just gonna jump in there with like we talking about second chances. God has given me millions of chances.
Yes.
Right.
So obviously, when we get in relationships, I know I haven't been as quick to give second. I've given some, but like, why are we as people, not men and women, but why are we as people not as willing in a relationship? If we're in a relationship with God and we tell him, I ain't never gonna do it again, I ain't never gonna do this, but then when somebody does something to us, we're like, especially in a relationship, like, nah, man, forget that, you bump that, nah, you're not here no more. Like, what is that?
I think it's also the part and the idea that we're human.
I'm not immune to hurt. I'm sorry.
Right.
I feel you.
Yeah, we're human too.
Right.
And no one likes to feel pain. I'm sure when we sin against God, it hurts his heart, right? It makes him upset. But at the end of the day, that's why he's God, right? He has millions of chances for us to give, and we're just not like that. I think that part of the beauty of serving a God who is so just unfailing and always pursuing us is that he's constant in his attempts toward that. We get tired after, the 6 or 7 chances over. And that's a part of our human nature.
Right. But I think the Reverend John B said, on his first book, the Reverend John B. You have to go.
It's on the corner of Spotify and Tidal.
Right.
Listen to what people say, because that song was an apology to.
When that song came out, I don't even think I was born yet.
And he says that love does hurt, but I think, in all fairness, right, and you have to take wisdom with you too. Like if you know somebody is abusive, and whether it's physical or mental or just abusive in the relationship, with your heart, like wisdom says you're not the one. Right. But if you are in this committed relationship, and I don't know. I've been married 11 years, and
congratulations.
I thank you. She hasn't killed me yet. I'm still here.
I love her. I love her. She's just everything.
But we've been married 11 years, and we have not experienced infidelity.
That's good.
No, we haven't.
That's good. That's what you applaud. 11 years, but
but I think that commitment comes because I don't want that testimony, right? I don't want to have to go back and be, baby, I'm sorry, forgive me, let's work on it, let's go to counseling, let's do this. I don't want that. I don't want that life. But I do, again, I applaud and I appreciate JayZ, because there's a lot of other men, a lot of young men who need to see somebody who can go back and say, I messed up. I suck at love. Like, I hurt you in more ways than one. I keep failing in this area, but forgive me. Like, I want to try. And I think that's the difference. When you see someone who comes from that angle and says, let me put all my faults and my flaws on the table and let me expose myself, instead of being prideful and saying, well, you did this and did that. If you see that, then that would let me know that person really wants to do right.
Not just that, it shows they're still together.
Right.
A lot of times we see a lot of people ending up in divorce, but it's good that they're working through it. She still trusts. Well, I don't know if she trusts him, but
they're building.
They're building.
Yes, a lot of times we see that, like, from the outside. I know, talking to some of my friends or the ladies, they say when they see somebody that's a public figure and there's infidelity, they're like, man, I couldn't have been me, because I would have been up there. And I tend to, it's not that I'm defending the man, but I'm also like, you don't know what their situation was, and until something happens to you, you don't necessarily know what you're going to do. You can't speak, because especially at that level, the publicity of it, the hurt, the pain, the things, there's so much that entails with that. So you really have to, I think, judge each each situation case by case.
I give it to Beyonce, man, because you wouldn't even know. Like, she's still up there performing and wouldn't. But
Do it again. Do it again.
Oh, she feeling him. Not this just he cheated on me last night. And
But that's what I like about their creativity. Like, we all know they're very private when it comes to the public. But when she did Lemonade and he did 444, it was like, to me, I felt like this is their way letting us know, like, look, we're not going to come out publicly with it. We're going to put it what we love to do, and this is how you going to know. So I felt like that gave us more of an insight to, like,
And it could be a business decision too. You never know. It's like, man, we too big to scrap this, so let's get it together. Let's make it. Let's put the act on. And I'm not judging, but I'm saying, like, we don't know
like
every
you know,
situation.
we're talking about it made me think about the situation with Tina and her husband.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They did that
Yes.
publicly, even they did the, reconciling. What's it called?
Reconciliation.
Come on. Sound it out.
Reconciliation.
But you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
they did it. They have a book together. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Listen.
Sometimes I'm this is not coming from the word. I'm not saying you just told me this, but Dana, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes maybe God's just trying to show us, different things.
He gives us examples.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You can finish.
I would. You know what? I'm a back to you. I just threw it back.
Yeah, tag team. That's what we do. Go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah. No, Dana, I'm not gonna finish your thought. Go ahead.
No, David.
But I know what you mean.
Tina Campbell was gangster with that situation, though. Let me tell you why. Her husband cheated on her, but look at how she dealt with him.
She stabbed
Every
him.
tour she had.
You didn't mean that. Okay.
No, really.
go ahead.
Every tour she had, she brought him out as a drummer.
Yeah.
They got a joint Instagram account.
Yeah.
Every time I see him on Instagram, his shirt says, "I'm happily married." Like infidelity is out of the question. Like no, she handled that situation
For her, but it's a constant. But it's a constant reminder. Like
Exactly.
if you got to keep putting it on Front Street. So it's
Right.
like sometimes,
And I
like
feel
you
bad for
got
her.
to. Sometimes you gotta make a conscious decision. Like that's to move forward.
But
You
if
know what I
don't
mean?
move forward, you can't keep
You can't,
talking about it.
you
Like,
can't,
gotta wrap
you
it
can't,
up,
you
let
can't
it go,
keep
throw it in the
looking
bag,
back
goodbye,
because it's
wrap it
like
up.
I won't cheat today. It's like you wear a different shirt every day. It's like, bro,
Totally committed to you on Thursdays.
No distractions today.
my wife.
Hashtag pass today. I got my star for the day.
you know what I'm
Like
saying?
at home, remember the things in elementary
Yeah,
good for the day?
you know, get a
They got
little
the
star. Yeah, you get a little candy jar at the end.
I got
It's
my
like,
red
nah, you
star
get to
today.
sleep in the bed on Sunday if
Right.
you do good all week.
Sleeping in the bed Sundays.
I did, because that was like publicly, like her
Right,
life
and it was like
televised.
every episode, every time she got
Yeah.
it, like, thank God.
And you saw her
I
raise.
want to thank God because I went through something real tragic from my husband. Bring it out.
Bring him out.
I felt so bad for her, but I thank God that she did it. I thought it was a little over the top, but at the same time, real talk, it was, you know what I'm saying? Somebody
And I can
Came from
respect
a
her
real
for
place.
that.
It came
did.
from a real
You
place.
know, that probably helped. What it did.
Now that's the testimony that I
That's
do
the
not
key,
want.
right?
I don't want the Teddy Campbell testimony.
No one does.
I don't want the baby. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I don't want that.
I think it's more of the embarrassment of not being able to, like, that's something that you can't get rid of. Like you can't ever take that back. You know what I mean? Like that's something. I mean, it's second chances are hard. I think it's person by person. You know?
I can't lie. I give them.
Yeah.
Maybe too often than none. I give
Yeah.
'em.
Do you give them Trinity?
Uh-oh. She's quiet. No, she doesn't.
Oh no, you don't.
She said it. She said it. She said
That is
I
true.
was on gamble.
Yeah, I used to give them. I was attracted to red flags.
It was
You know what I mean? So I was attracted to red flags. So out there, when I saw red flags, I was like, man, that's cute. She's talented. Look, she's
a
throwing it
train
out.
wreck over there.
Yeah.
Come here, train wreck.
Yeah, train wreck. Oh man, you got emotional. Oh man,
You carry knives and batteries.
yeah.
So you saying red flags was
But-
supposed to be like,
Exactly.
I
But
get it, yeah.
but what I would say though too, like second chances, I have to look at myself. How many second chances have I been given?
That part.
And so like I think for me, I reflected on where I was, and I wasn't always, I grew up in church, but I wasn't even always together. So it's like that's why I gave chances.
Because I have an aunt that's probably been married for like all my life plus, but her husband, like they had 4 kids together before the marriage. She had 5 kids, but like through this time,
Before.
like he's been verbally abusive. He then had maybe 2 kids outside their marriage. So I would say it depends on the situation. She's given a second chances
Yeah.
plus a million chances.
Look,
know what I'm saying?
there's a story about that. It's like a short story. It's like the guy was waiting in the storm. It was raining. Car came, said, "Hey, I'll take you home." He said, "No, my mom coming." Another car came. Nah, my mom's coming. Third car came. He's like, man, mom. Then he's praying to God. He's like, man, God, where you at? God was like, man, I just sent you 3 cars. Like, sometimes he's sending you signs. You need to take the note and really put that in perspective. Like, look, God, if he keep doing the same thing over and over, chances are that's who they are. And I can't change them. And you need to, you know, make a decision about moving on. We can't keep sitting in a situation and be like, man, God, what's going on? Like, man, I've been done told you. I done told you to get about the situation.
Now you walk.
What's up?
How do you guys feel about breakups? Is there a right way, a wrong way to break up?
Yes.
I think it's the right way.
What?
Yes, I've done both. I've done bad and good.
I think it should be a right way because friend. They don't. So
Man, oh, man.
It can
Where's
help
she at?
somebody.
What part
I
of
told
LA
you
she
that
live in?
situation. It can
Real
help
talk.
somebody.
Real
Yes.
talk.
Testimony. That man lived a double life on me. But that's another topic on the well. But
We're gonna get therapy on that.
No, we gonna pray at the end of this.
I'm wrap it up. I'm not going.
Come on, set free.
Y'all made me lose my train of thought.
No. All right,
you
yeah.
have a friend.
The friend.
Friend.
She
Yeah.
just broke up with her boyfriend. They've been together for 6 years.
Wow.
So yes, there should be a right way to break up. You just don't come and be like, oh, well, I'm just not happy. Well, we've been together for 6 years. What happened that I didn't know what happened? So instead of him, to me, being the man that he should have been, he's blaming her for everything. And she's like, well, I don't understand what's going on here. But at the end of the day, he didn't cheat. So why he should have just been honest to her and said, look, I stepped outside this relationship. I don't think we should move forward or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, this should be a right way to break up with somebody.
What I had a situation. I don't know if you guys how you would feel. Like,
Y'all too.
no, I'm serious. No, I'm serious. What she said is telling the real.
The
Like,
well.
you break up with somebody and I let them know, but then it wasn't like some people I've actually kept in touch. I deleted everything and it was utmost like haven't spoken to the person ever since. I felt terrible about it, but that's what you're supposed to do. I felt like I prayed. I was like, God, heal them, help them, because I feel bad about never communicating with them. But this got to a point right now where if I don't get out this situation, it is going to tear me down.
I was never a good breaker-upper. Like my wife, like Kim, she's still friends. Like they have her boyfriends from high school or whatever. Like when they broke up, it was amicable. Like cool. Me, I was like kicking a dirty cat off my porch. Like get out of here, move, get. I just wasn't. I didn't know how.
On both sides though, like I was so I just was contradicting.
In middle school, they used to say like when the bell ring, that means you dismissed. So that's how they used to like break up with you.
Wow.
Oh man,
Woo! Well,
Like,
you were dismissed.
You were dismissed.
That's
here's my thing,
Trash day, like.
and it's all I'm gonna say. I promise. This is all I'm gonna say.
Word.
I feel when you got together, when we said, we was gonna be together, it was a mutual agreement. When we break up, it's gonna be a mutual agreement too. If I don't say we not together, then we still together.
Are you?
Yeah, I'm one of them.
Wait a minute.
Wait, you saying they can
Wait.
No, they're
If
not
you
gonna
don't
break
agree.
up.
Let me clarify.
not with you, but like.
So if they say I'm not, we're not together anymore, and if you like didn't get that text and you like show up at that, like you would still be following up.
You text me breaking up. And
Okay.
watch me.
Yeah, and I know we got to wrap, but I had a young lady like before I got married that we were dating, and then like I broke up because like I'm trying to get serious, trying to get married, and then me and Kim eventually got married. This girl was still coming around. She showed up at my job and was like, "So what's up?" I was like, I'm married, right? I'm married. She was like, "Y'all always say that."
I always wear them rings.
I was like, "It's a ring." She's like, "Crazy."
I always make these commitments.
okay. Well, on that note, on that crazy note, thank you for watching The Well. Do you think that second chances are necessary in relationships? If you think that they are, please leave us your comments in the description box below. Make sure to like us on Facebook, Twitter, all of the social media pages that we have. They'll be posted down here probably somewhere. All right, we'll see you next time on The Well. Have a great rest of your day.
Peace.
Looking for more West State TV original content? Like and subscribe to make sure you never miss a video.